So welcome everybody. We're really excited to have Susana Jones here today. She has a really unique and special offering, and so that's why we really have her here, and thankful that she can share with us her special knowledge and things that we're going to be doing today. But she's a certified yoga therapist, and she's the founder of a yoga studio called Shakti Urbana out of San Diego. She specializes in, she's a specialized yoga that deals with sustainable self-care and plans for individuals and groups, helping people with their body and their mind and what do you call it? Life at large. So I'm going to hand it over to Susana and welcome.
Thank you, JR. And thank you, Micah, who's working on behalf of the California Lawyers Association behind the scenes. Thank you, everybody, for your efforts in signing up to be here today. So I'm really honored to share with you a kind of yoga of resourcefulness. I like to refer to it as, not only because it's a delight to teach, but because it's like a healing balm for the kinds of stress that we are confronted with being humans in the world today. So no matter what inspired you to attend this session, please know that you're totally welcome to be exactly as you are. And on a deeper level, no matter what you're going through in life these days, there is more that is completely right and whole and complete about you than not. And I say that because sometimes we come to yoga because we feel achy or broken, or we feel like we need to, get in shape or whatever. And so I just invite you to kind of just allow those sorts of thoughts to be set aside for a while, because already, and those are wonderful pursuits, and I acknowledge you for being here to do something, but there's more that is healthy and balanced and working well in you in this moment than anything else. And if that was not the case, you wouldn't be here, right? So this session is really intended to add to your core of well-being that already exists so that it can shine through you in day-to-day life, and perhaps even outshine states of feeling tired, restless, stressed, or in pain. So today we'll explore resolving these kinds of states with the resources we were born with, the resources of the body, of the mind, and our cognition, our awareness, as well as the resource of our breath. And so an additional resource that we have at our disposal is the vital life force, which we refer to as prana in yoga. And prana we get from food, water, air, and sunlight. And when our vital life force is disturbed in some way, meaning that the flow of that vitality through the system is impeded for one reason or another, we feel tired, restless, stressed, and in pain. And these are very pervasive states in our society. It's kind of the norm to feel any one of those ways, though what's normal is not always great, and we can do something about it. But often to cope with feeling these ways, we'll reach for something external that provides us with stimulation when we're tired, sedation when we're wired, instant gratification when we're stressed, and some form of relief or self-medication when we're in pain, whether that's emotional or physical. So this concept comes to us from a body of teachings known as yoga of recovery, which I teach on a weekly basis. And personally, I understand the need as a new mom running my own company to reach out for something to get through the day. Whether I'm tired or I'm super wired, there's something that needs to help me get through. But sooner or later, we find that the relief offered by our quick fix of choice is fleeting, and it doesn't really fix the issue. And so as time goes on, our vitality that's causing those feelings of tiredness, et cetera, is still disturbed. And that disturbance to our vitality can, over the long term, progress toward things like chronic pain, chronic stress, depression, anxiety, addiction, denial, and so on. So with a heart full of compassion for anyone dealing with the kinds of effects of disturbed prana over the long term, which is also very rampant in our society, we have an alternative to reaching outside of ourselves in ways that do more harm than good. And so as another way to work with this experience of being human and to acknowledge how we might feel tired or stressed or in pain, etc., yoga guides us inward and teaches us how to use what we have within us with greater skillfulness. And so an incredible resource that we always have available to us is our breath, which often goes unnoticed or unacknowledged because we're busy. And so in a single breath cycle, there are actually 5 distinct parts of it, and each one affects a certain bodily function. So the start of the inhalation affects our breathing and our ingestion, chewing, swallowing, etc. The body of the inhalation affects our digestion and our assimilation. The transition between inhalation and exhalation affects our movement and our circulation. The body of the exhalation affects our speech and sensations. And the end of exhalation affects our procreation and elimination. So to better understand our state of health and what's going on with our bodies, we can look to irregularities in our breath cycle and smooth them out, essentially. So this is a huge subject and one that I'll just offer you a bit of today. But we'll practice breathing in such a way that is quiet and smooth and even and continuous. And those qualities in the breath help to distribute vitality throughout the system, to promote consistent energy by day and better sleep at night. And of course, our lifestyle and what we focus on can either hinder or support this vital life force. Yoga philosophy brought us the saying that where our attention goes, our energy flows. So we're going to kind of test out that idea in our practice. In life at large, we get to pay attention to what it is we're paying attention to, which kind of sounds like circular logic. And I know as a group of attorneys, you're all probably really well trained in logic, more so than I am. But it's worth asking ourselves, is it worth it for my vital energy to go towards this? So something we can put our attention to on the lifestyle front that benefits our circadian rhythm and can help us rely less on stimulants, sedatives, and the like, is physical movement linked with breath. And even better to have physical movement linked with breath that is quiet, smooth, even, and continuous. And yoga offers us a fantastic way to experience that and to practice it, and perhaps even to integrate it more fully into our lifestyle. So today's yoga will effectively, in theory, we'll test this out, right? It's all an experiment. We'll distribute focus and prana, vitality, throughout the system by being aware of certain areas of the body that we're moving and breathing with, yeah? And so this class is therapeutically informed, generally speaking, though what's therapeutic for you is different than what's therapeutic for someone else in the session. So if you find that anything we do feels aggravating or painful, please stop and just emphasize breathing in that quiet, smooth, even, continuous way in whatever position feels comfortable for you at the moment. Our motto in yoga, unlike other kind of athletic pursuits, is no pain, no pain. No pain, no pain. So as I mentioned at the start, you may benefit from having a folded blanket near your mat. We might use that to sit on to take some pressure off the joints of the lower body, and we may spread that over the body in case it's chilly. I know it's a very hot time in California where I am, but you can use that as you please. So let us begin lying down on the mat. I'm going to switch my camera angle momentarily, so I'll be with you in a second. But we'll be starting by letting the soles of the feet rest on the ground with knees bent. And take a moment to just stretch anything that feels sort of tight or impeded. I'll be with you with a new camera angle in a moment. All right. And so as you come down to the mat, I wonder if I could request from Micah to spotlight my video so that it is available for everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's come down to our backs and just allow the body to really sink in with the weight of gravity. Notice how it feels having just sat at your computer, having kind of gone through the technical aspects of arriving here today. And allow the eyes to soften closed if they're not already. And just notice the areas of the body that are receiving support from the ground beneath you. And notice how you're kind of resting into the greater support provided by the planet. And so allow your breath to be exactly as it is, no need to fix or change it. But simply notice it moving through the body. Notice the touch of air on the nose and the throat. Areas of the torso or abdomen that are responding to the movement of the breath. And allow all these little attributes to just really bring you into this moment where life is actually happening. And let us bring attention to that part of us that is always doing well. Regardless of what challenges we've faced or what challenges we anticipate, there is this inner core of well-being that has made it through every challenge you've faced so far. And so perhaps you can just bring awareness into the heart center and imagine that this core of well-being resides there. And allow sensations of well-being now to arise within the body. Perhaps welcoming sensations of comfort. A felt sense that in this moment, all is well. And welcoming this sense of well-being, perhaps we notice that there are sensations of discomfort in the body or an uncomfortable feeling. Welcome those as well. Everything free to be exactly as it is. Notice now if there's any experience of tiredness, restlessness, stress, or pain. Notice what sensations, if any, those produce in the body. And allow those sensations or that experience to just take up some space. Allow it to be exactly as it is. Welcome awareness now back into that core of well-being, your inner resource of being and well-being. And notice your current experience. No need to fix or change anything. Allow the senses to be open wide. Hearing the sounds around you and within you. Noticing the temperature or the other textures on the skin. Any taste in the mouth. Any scent on the nose. All of these changing perceptions revealing unchanging awareness. Awareness that is full and whole, enduring. Nothing is missing in awareness. And let us now place the hands together and gently massage the palms. And notice perhaps the texture of your fingerprints. Notice the feeling of the knuckles, the backs of the hands, the wrists, almost like you're rinsing the hands underwater. And then let's rub the hands a little bit more vigorously so as to create a little bit of heat. And then very gently, as if you are setting on an eye pillow, place the palms of the hands directly over the eyes. Allow the eyes to gently blink open. Maybe they blink a few times, and allow this presence of the hands to smooth away any tension from the eyes. Allow the belly and torso to move with your breath as we hold here for another inhalation or so. And a smooth exhalation. Very gently part the hands from the eyes and use the fingertips to massage the temples, down into the jaw. And using the fingertips, perhaps massage into the sides of the neck, the tops of the shoulders. And let us begin to massage the arms and hands here as we start to distribute vital energy through the power of touch and awareness. Extend your right arm straight out from the shoulder. Take the palm of the left hand and glide from the back of the right hand down the arm all the way to the shoulder. Rotate the right palm back to the wall or space behind you as you then glide the left palm down the inside of the arm all the way to the right fingertips. And repeat that a couple times. Right palm faces forward as you glide the left hand down to the shoulder. Right palm faces back as you glide the left hand down to the right fingertips. One more time on your own. And it doesn't have to be so precise. This is just mostly about making contact with the arm, the joints, the skin, the muscles, etc. And our subtle life force. And now let's switch sides. Right palm gliding from the back of the left hand all the way to the left shoulder. And then right palm gliding down the inner arm to the fingertips. 3 or 4 more times on your own. And feel free to apply a little bit of pressure if that feels good. If there's irritation or itchiness in the arms here, feel free to just keep it a very light touch or even skip the touch, almost like you're massaging your energy field. Very nice. And then release the hands down. And let's raise the right arm up and overhead. Roll over to your right side. Pausing here for a little moment, note the changing sensations of resting on the side of your body. And then use the left hand on the ground to guide yourself up into a seated position so that we can bring that massage into the legs. And so with the legs outstretched in front of you, you might absorb the entire left leg in toward your hip and then absorb the right leg in toward the hip to have the effect of sitting up a little taller. Using both hands on the right foot, feel free to bend the right knee and bring awareness to the toes, right toes. And just as if you were kind of moisturizing the toes in a very spa-like manner, give your toes a little massage. We did the eyes first so that we don't have to go from the feet to the eyes, right? And then let's bring the hands to kind of sandwich the top and the sole of the foot and just kind of smoothing it out. Again, this doesn't have to be precise. This is just about bringing awareness and vital resources to the right foot, because why not? Let's place the hands on the right ankle as if you're kind of circling little anklets around that joint, just kind of gently circling, almost like a wringing out motion. There's an energy point in the ankles that helps to relieve stiffness. So we're working that. And now with awareness on the right shin and calf region, both hands glide upward. So we're doing this class live in California at 9 a.m.-ish. So this whole practice is a little better suited to the morning. If you're joining us on the recording, you might do your strokes downward instead to have a little bit more of a calming effect if this is happening for you later in the day. When you get to the knee, gently circle around the knee. Bring awareness into the knee. Let your breath keep flowing and bring a little effort into the back of the left leg and the sits bones, making contact with the ground, and really pushing down into that base of support. Both hands now can glide up the outer edge of the right thigh and down the inner thigh, almost like you're drawing a big loop of energy here. And then let's get the hands involved on the backs of the thighs. Inner thigh a little bit, just kind of, it's like power pets. We're power petting the right thigh just to boost circulation, warm up the body for our asana posture practice. When you make it up to the right hip, draw some circles around it. Again, just free form movement. And then we'll switch sides by bringing the left foot into the hands. Bring awareness into your toes. Massage them. Thank your toes for keeping you balanced, for helping you take steps forward or steps back. And then let's massage the top of the foot, sole of the foot, upward toward the heart for early in the day. This is a nice thing to do right upon waking up. It takes a little discipline to do those kinds of self-care things in the morning, but they make such a difference, especially when we do it with some regularity. Now for the left ankle, gently ring around, like a rinsing kind of motion here. This practice comes to us from the self-massage practice of Ayurveda, which is like the sister science to yoga. Let's place the left shin and calf into the hands and gently glide upward. When we massage the calves, we're helping blood return to the heart a little more easily. So that's great. Let's bring the hands to the knee and kind of circle around the knee. While we're on the knee, bring the fingertips behind the knee so you can gently palpitate lymph nodes and the back of the joint capsule. And then let's glide up the outer thigh, down the inner thigh a couple times on that left side. And then let's get the back of the left thigh involved, bringing some blood flow to tight hamstrings and gluteals. And then bringing the hands to the left hip, just gently massaging there. And now let's place both hands to the lower back. And sometimes it's a little hard to reach, so feel free to bend at the knees if that would help you lean forward a little bit. Just bringing some nice kind of circles into the lower back region. And then if you can reach a little higher into the upper back, let's massage the kidneys. Maybe we can get up to the adrenals there towards the lower rib cage. See what you can massage around the middle of the back. And then bringing both hands onto the right side, gently pet upward. If you have pets at home, know that you do this for them. It's so nice. You can do it for yourself too. And then let's bring the hands over to the other side. Massaging into all that space between the ribs and the pelvis. Yay. Okay, we just had a massage. Take a moment, relax the shoulders a bit, move things around as you please. And take a breath out. Gently close the eyes and seal the lips. And with the palms resting on the knees, begin breathing through the nose. And let's set the intention for diaphragmatic breath. Allow the inhalation to descend down toward the navel and the pelvis. Allow the exhalation to rise from the depths of the body all the way out through the nose. A few more times here, welcoming that down and in quality of the breath in. And the up and out quality of the breath out. And it's okay if there's choppiness. If the breath feels labored, be really gentle. There's no need to force this. Know that your breath is an ally to every moment of your life. We can just give it some loving attention. Notice if the inhalation or exhalation lasts a little longer. And let's welcome now an evenness in our breath, welcoming your own internal count of 5 as you inhale, matched by your same count of 5 as you exhale. Some people even like to gently tap a rhythm, like a little metronome, tapping with the finger on the knee a few times. 5 count, breath in. 5 count, breath out. You can adjust that count as needed. But the idea is to have the in-breath and out-breath be equal in length. Let's welcome one more breath cycle in this way. And then we'll practice integrating this style of breathing with some movements to keep distributing vital energy throughout the body-mind. With the eyes open, set the hands forward. For the practice of cat and cow, starting in a tabletop position on hands and knees, gently absorb the core muscles in the front of the body and curl the toes under to help keep that core gently engaged. With your inhalation, gaze forward and allow your heart to shine forward as if a light was shining into the space in front of you. As you exhale, round through the back, press the tops of the feet down and arch the back of the heart towards the sky. That's one option. As we inhale again, we can allow the shoulders to glide back with the heart reaching forward, aiming forward. And as we exhale, we could also try guiding the hips back toward the heel. With the inhalation, return to that little back bend, heart shining forward. Round in the way that feels good as you exhale, the core nice and strong, back stretches. Breathe in, let the heart lift. Breathe out, and you're either stretching the upper back or the lower back, whichever one feels best today. And let's go once more, breathing in here. This is just helping to warm and circulate the muscles of the core, the features of the spine. With your next inhalation, return to a neutral tabletop and pause here as we just hold a kind of isometric stretch. The toes can curl under. Using the power of your upper body, including the chest, the shoulders, the upper back, the arms, the hands, push down and breathe here and feel the muscles hugging to the bones, supporting the joints. Core is engaged as the breath continues to flow. And let's hold here for one more inhalation. As you exhale, gently sink the hips back to the knees. Open the knees for one variation and keep the arms reaching forward, forehead to the mat. If that doesn't feel so good, or if it's challenging to breathe there, consider having the knees together and the hands reaching back instead. Here, let us integrate that quiet, smooth, even, and continuous breath as best we can. Knowing that just setting the intention to have those qualities in the breath is plenty. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. Let's welcome 3 more breaths here. And as your next inhalation arises, return to all fours, hands and knees. And for a moment, let's press into a downward facing dog in the same kind of way that a dog would, yeah? I don't know any dog that holds down dog for more than a moment or two. So preparing for this, let's curl the toes under. And then as you inhale, let's raise the hips up to the sky, elongate through the sides of the body. The heels can stay lifted, that's okay. You could also bend the knees. Take another breath here as you send the hips up, really just tractioning, stretching out the spine, the backs, the legs a bit. And with your exhalation, look forward and step your feet to the top of the mat. And we'll prepare here for a sun salutation, the movements of which are like charging a battery. With your inhalation, gaze forward, draw your shoulder blades away from the ears. With your exhalation, fold everything forward and let's hold here. And it may be helpful to keep a deep bend in the knees. It may be helpful to widen the feet. And so, however the lower body can help accommodate the upper body, let's stay here for 3 breaths. We're doing a kind of slow flow practice here so that we have time to gather awareness into the body. So notice which areas of the body are speaking to you here in the form of sensation or curiosity. The neck is relaxed. Spine is lengthening downward. For one more breath in, feel free to open the mouth into a tiny circle as you breathe out to expel some extra heat. You can do that throughout practice as you wish. Release the hands from the ankles and step the feet together to touch, or perhaps a little bit of space, whatever feels more stable to you. With your next inhalation, let's extend the arms out and up as we push down through the feet and reach the arms up and over the head. With your exhalation, join the hands together and breathe. Tune into the subtle heartbeat against the thumbs and slide the thumbs down the sternum until you feel a little stretch in the wrists. If that feels like too much on the wrists, then find a way to soften. Welcome the breath in. Smooth out the breath out. Let us open our arms to shoulder height with the palms facing forward. If there's high blood pressure happening for you, let the arms stay about this height. And it also just generally feels pretty good. But you're also welcome to extend the arms up into the sky. Either way, let's lift our eyes upward. Wherever the arms are situated right now, gaze up and out. And as you do, keep pushing down through the feet and lift through the heart, kind of like how we did in that cow pose. And breathe here. Keep your lower body strong, like a pillar. The upper body reaching up and out. For one more breath, keeping your arms exactly as they are, hinge from your hips and fold forward, and it may be accommodating to have a soft or a deep bend in the knees. If the arms are reaching out, maybe gaze through the fingertips, and then return to that forward fold just for a moment. Let the back of the neck relax. With your inhalation, guide the heart forward and the shoulders back. As you exhale, step the right foot back into a low lunge. And let's pause here. And you may like to make little fists with the hands and kind of stamp the fists down into the ground. We're just going to hold this low lunge. And if it works better for you to have the palms flattened or even to incorporate a block beneath each hand, go for it. We're here for 3 breaths. The right heel is reaching back, and we're inviting space into the right side of the body, which is associated with the solar channel. So the qualities that warm and energize us, qualities that help us wake up in the morning and stay awake through the day. Let's breathe with that channel. And notice if the breath starts to move a little bit more through the right nostril, which can happen. Taking one more breath in. Use your exhalation to press the palms down to the mat. Step your left foot back into a high plank. And breathe here for 3 breaths. So kind of taking that isometric quality of our tabletop, but extending the legs behind us. Know that it's okay to set the knees down to the ground and keeping the toes tucked under. This is a wonderful way to strengthen the front of the body. Let's take in another inhalation or so. And then as you exhale, we'll bend the right knee and step it between the hands. And that might require us to hold on to the ankle or kind of caterpillar crawl the right toes forward to come back into a low lunge. Perhaps we make fists beneath the shoulders to support the upper body. Maybe palms, maybe yoga blocks beneath the shoulders. 3 breaths here as we push the left heel back. Welcome a long line of energy from the crown of the head back through the left leg. And here, as we open the left side, we're opening up the lunar channel of the body. That which helps us stay cool and calm. That which helps us drift off into peaceful sleep. That which helps us stay collected in times of stress or turbulence. Let's take in one more inhalation. And as we exhale, we'll plant the palms beneath the shoulders once again. Step the right foot back into high plank. Let's hold this for just 1 breath. Really push the ground away. And as you exhale, either lower the knees or keep the knees lifted. As we lower halfway, bend the elbows back towards the ribs, and we're gonna ease the chest all the way down to the ground in preparation for a cobra pose that's a little special. Release the forehead down to the ground and slide the hands back toward the lower rib cage. Keep the elbows pointing up by your sides. Now, in a few breaths, we're gonna lift on an exhalation, making a hissing sound like a cobra, okay? In the meantime, we're gonna breathe as if we're pulling into the belly button every breath, pulling into the center. And as that breath pulls into the center, imagine pulling out of every cell and every feature of the body any tiredness, any wiredness, any stress, any pain, any toxicity, inflammation, or venom. Pull it right into your belly button. Another inhalation, breath cycle, right into the center. And when you feel ready, use your exhalation to rise up through the chest. Shoulders stay back, and you make a long hissing sound like so. Feel free to do that one more time. One deep inhalation right into your center. Exhale and hiss until all the breath runs out. You're exhaling through the teeth. Let's pause and stay here in Cobra for a moment. As you exhale, bring one hand forward at a time. Stack the hands. Let the forehead rest on the backs of the hands. Separate the feet a little bit and turn the toes away from each other for crocodile pose. Allow the muscles of the lower back to relax after that little back bend. Allow the core muscles to relax as you breathe against the floor. And we'll stay here for about a minute. Staying in crocodile pose. I will sit up so that my instructions don't get muffled. Invite awareness to center back into the navel, the belly button. Where the subtle prana enters the body. Imagine that center glowing golden as you inhale. And that light softens as you exhale. Golden light shining as you inhale. Softening as you exhale. Continue. With minimal movement, Raise the forehead, glide the elbows back into the sides, point the toes behind you, and bring yourself up into a kneeling position. Enjoy the lightness and the release of pressure from the forehead and abdomen. Lower the hips to one side and come down to your back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Push into the feet slightly so as to slide your left hip toward the middle of the mat. Bring both knees over to your left side. And perhaps your left hand rests on the right leg. Bring awareness to the right arm with the palm down in the floor. Gaze at a point right up on the ceiling or in the space above you. With your next inhalation, gently open your arm out to the right side like you're drawing half of a snow angel here. And at some point, the right palm will rotate upward. As you exhale, glide the arm back down to its starting point and look to your left, rotating the neck toward the left. Inhale again, gaze back up at that point on the ceiling. Sweep your right arm until the right arm meets the ear or close to it. Exhale, glide the right arm back down, turn the head to the left. And let's do this 3 more times, of course, avoiding anything that feels like it's impinging the shoulder or causing irritation in the neck. No need to do the full range of motion. But with every exhalation, turn the head away from the right arm. Take a moment to consciously pull the shoulder blade down the body away from the ear. Even as the arm lifts, the shoulder blade hugs down. Bringing awareness into the rotator cuff, the neck, upper arm bone. On this last one, find one place where it would feel good to pause for an extra couple of breaths. Anywhere in that cycle, pause and breathe. Invite your prana to flow into that area. Prana is the healer on the subtle level. With your next inhalation, turn your face back through center, gather the knees toward the midline and pause for a moment, just being symmetrical here. Welcome any difference in sensation between the right side, the left side. Welcome the complete wholeness of the body and mind exactly as they are. And with a little push into the feet, slide the right hip more to the middle of the mat. Bring both knees to the right side. And let's repeat that on the other side. Making sure that you've got room to move the left arm like a little snow angel. Maybe a stand angel if you're in Southern California with me. Breathe in as the arm sweeps out. And even as the arm lifts up by the ear, keep the shoulder blade down and away from the neck. Exhale, the arm sweeps down, turn the face to the right. Breathe in and sweep outward. Gaze right up at the ceiling. Breathe out and sweep downward. A couple more times on your own. It takes a lot of attention to keep that shoulder blade from rising up into the neck. But doing so can help eliminate a source of pain, a source of tension. On this next one, find one place where it would feel good to just kind of stay and breathe, like a little extra. And it might be really different from what the other side communicated. With your breath flowing, guide the left hand down to its starting point. Bring the knees to center, center the head. Fold the knees together to your chest. And keeping the knees together, or perhaps with a little bit more space for the belly to process the breath, just hold with the knees drawn in. Focus on the exhalation. And imagine just clearing your space. Tiredness, wiredness, pain, and stress can just be a part of life. Let's help their stay be temporary by clearing our space. Smooth exhalation, maybe through a circle in the lips. And then gently release the feet down. And you may wish to place your blanket over the body as we just relax here for a few minutes in our final surrender, Shavasana. Each pose is named after one sort of creature or another that has some wisdom to share with us. So the wisdom of Shavasana comes from a lifeless body. And I know this gets pretty real, but we can ask ourselves, what wisdom can I glean from a lifeless body? Allow the tongue to relax from the roof of the mouth. Allow the breath to just be itself. Allow the doing of yoga to become simply being. With minimal movement, guide the left arm beside your ear. Bend the knees and roll to your left side. Notice the transition between the pose dedicated to a lifeless body into this pose, reminiscent of a new life. A tiny embodiment of pure potential. Feel free to bring that sense of freshness and possibility with you as we rise up into a seated position. Allow the palms to gently cup the knees, eyes to stay softly closed. Let us place one hand over the heart and another hand over that. Feeling the subtle heartbeat of the heart on the palms. And the comfort of the hands against the heart. The vital life force and the divine presence in me honors the vital life force and the divine presence of you. Namaste. Feel free to continue to reside in your practice space. And if you'd like the feeling tone of yoga to continue for a while, perhaps observe a time of quiet introspection. I thank you all for your time and energy in joining this practice today. I thank JR and his amazing law firm, the Bar Association, and Micah. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And I'll follow up with you all with an email sharing some resources from today's practice and an invitation to work therapeutically with me. Be well.